Clarity is not a buzzword. It's not something you write on a whiteboard once a year at your company retreat. Clarity is the foundation of everything you're trying to build. When you say you want to grow, what exactly does that mean? More money, more time freedom, a larger team. Until you define what growth looks like, you're just running in circles. And circles never scale. You have to get painfully specific about where you're going and how you're going to get there. Most people don't fail because they aren't talented or driven. They fail because they are vague, their goals are vague, their communication is vague, their schedule is vague. You cannot lead others if you are unclear yourself. A team cannot follow someone who speaks in generalities. Your business will reflect the level of clarity you lead with. If you're fuzzy, your results will be too. So what does clarity look like in practice? It's writing down exactly what your ideal company looks like in 12 months. It's not just I want to scale, it's I want to generate $2, 5 million in annual revenue with a team of 10, serving 300 clients per year, operating in 3 time zones. That's clarity. That gives you direction. That tells you what kind of marketing you need, what kind of team structure you should build, and how your time should be allocated. Clarity also means you know your role. If you're doing everything in your business, you're not clear. You're caught in survival mode. Clarity means you've decided, these are the 3 things I do. Everything else, I delegate, document, or delete. Without that line in the sand, you'll drown in tasks that don't actually move the needle. You'll confuse motion with progress. Being busy is not the same as being productive, and only clarity helps you spot the difference. And clarity isn't just for you. It's for your team. Every person in your business needs to know exactly what success looks like for their role. What does done look like? What are the metrics? When you're clear, people are confident. When you're vague, people hesitate, or worse, they guess. That's how mistakes happen. That's how you end up micro-managing everything because people can't hit a target they can't see. When you operate with clarity, you move faster. You make decisions without second guessing. You stop overthinking and start executing. Every minute you spend unclear is a minute you're wasting time, energy, and resources. Clarity gives you focus, and focus is your most valuable currency as a leader. But here's the hard truth. Clarity doesn't come from thinking harder. It comes from doing the work of decision making. It comes from sitting down and asking uncomfortable questions. What am I really trying to build? Who am I serving? What am I not willing to compromise on? What have I been avoiding? Until you confront those answers, your strategy will always be fragile, and it's okay if your clarity evolves. What matters is that you're leading with the best clarity you have right now, and updating it as you grow. Businesses don't stall because of lack of effort. They stall because of unclear priorities, unclear roles, and unclear communication. You fix all of that by getting crystal clear. So if you feel stuck, it's not because you need more resources. It's because you need more clarity. Stop scrolling, stop researching. Sit down and write out exactly what you want, who you serve, how you'll deliver, and what success looks like in every area of your business. Then communicate that until your entire team can repeat it in their sleep. Clarity doesn't guarantee victory, but without it, victory isn't even possible. It's the GPS for your business. Without it, you're just driving around burning fuel and calling it progress. You can be talented, inspired, and hardworking, but if you're not clear, you're guessing. And empires are never built on guesses. Decide what matters, say it out loud, write it down, share it with your team, build systems that reinforce it. Repeat it until it feels boring. That's what real leaders do. They lead from clarity because clarity is power. Discipline is the bridge between vision and execution. You can be the most motivated person in the world, but if you lack discipline, your motivation will fade the moment things get hard. And they will get hard. Motivation is emotional. It's fleeting. It depends on how you feel, and let's be honest, some days you won't feel like showing up. Discipline is different. Discipline doesn't care how you feel. Discipline shows up anyway, and that's what builds empires. When you look at successful people, what you're seeing is not endless inspiration. You're seeing the results of structure, systems, boundaries. You're seeing a life that's been intentionally designed for progress. That's the power of discipline. It creates consistency, and consistency is what separates leaders from everyone else. Anyone can do the right thing once. Discipline is doing the right thing over and over, especially when it's uncomfortable or boring. Most people wait to feel ready. They wait for inspiration. They wait for the perfect time. But the truth is, you'll rarely feel ready. If you want to make real progress, you have to move without motivation. That means having your calendar planned. That means showing up to work even when you'd rather quit. That means saying no to distractions, even the ones that seem harmless. Discipline looks like choosing what you want most over what you want right now. It's choosing to write that sales page instead of scrolling. It's choosing to get up early to lead your team, even when you were up late the night before. It's not glamorous, but it works. Discipline removes decision fatigue. When you build routines around the things that matter, you free your brain from the burden of choice. You don't have to think about whether you'll go to the gym. You go because it's Monday and that's what you do. You don't have to question if today is the day you work on your systems. It's on the calendar, so you do it. And here's the magic. Over time, that discipline creates freedom. Because the more automated your good decisions become, the more energy you have for leading, creating, and scaling. There's this myth that discipline is restrictive, that if you live a structured life, you're not enjoying it. But real discipline isn't about limitation. It's about alignment. It's about aligning your time, your habits, and your focus with the future you say you want. If your dream is to build something legendary, then your daily actions need to reflect that. Otherwise, it's just a dream. Without discipline, your vision is nothing more than potential. Let's be clear. Discipline is not perfection. You will have off days. You will miss deadlines. You will fall short sometimes. Discipline isn't about never messing up. It's about getting back on track faster. It's about having the awareness to recalibrate and the courage to keep going. Discipline doesn't mean you never fail. It means you never quit. It also builds trust with yourself and with your team. When people see that you're consistent, they start to trust your leadership. They know you'll follow through. They know you mean what you say. And internally, your self-confidence grows. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, you build evidence that you're someone who gets things done. That's how confidence is really built, not through affirmations, but through evidence. Discipline is also contagious. When you lead with structure, your team follows suit. They start showing up sharper, more focused, more aligned. You create a culture of accountability. People stop waiting for inspiration and start taking ownership. And that's when things start to scale, because now you're not the only one carrying the load. You've built a disciplined team around a disciplined leader. You don't need to feel motivated to be great. You just need to be consistent. And consistency is built through habits, routines, and clear priorities. You set those by design, not by chance. You don't wait to find time for the important work. You make time. You don't rely on memory. You rely on systems. You don't aim to do everything. You commit to doing the right things. If you're relying on motivation to get you through, you're building on shaky ground. Instead, choose discipline. Build your day around what matters. Stay committed even when no one's watching. And remember, the people who win aren't the ones who feel inspired all the time. They're the ones who keep showing up, no matter what. That's the secret. That's the work. That's how you build your empire. Scaling a business is not about doing more. It's about doing better with less friction and more consistency. The moment you decide to grow, you step into a different game. You can no longer rely on hustle alone. At a certain point, more effort just creates more chaos. What you need is structure. What you need is systems, because systems are the only way to scale something beyond yourself. If you want your business to operate without you constantly pushing every button, you must build it to run on process, not personality. Most entrepreneurs start out doing everything. That's normal. In the beginning, you're wearing every hat: sales, marketing, operations, customer service. But what works at the startup stage will choke your growth later on. If you're still trying to personally manage every moving part, you're not building a business. You're building a bottleneck, and you are the bottleneck. Systems are how you replace yourself without losing quality. They're how you create consistency for your team, for your clients, and for your results. A system doesn't have to be complicated. It just has to be repeatable. If it's something you do more than once, it should be documented, not because you're being rigid, but because you're being strategic. Documentation lets other people replicate the outcome without having to guess. It frees up your time to lead, think, and grow. When you build systems, you're not just protecting your time, you're protecting your brand. Because without systems, everything depends on people remembering things, doing things their own way, or worse, figuring it out on the fly. That's how mistakes happen. That's how customer experiences become inconsistent. That's how team culture breaks down. Systems create predictability, and predictability creates trust. Your clients come back because they know what to expect. Your team stays aligned because they know the playbook, and you get to scale because you're not stuck solving the same problems over and over again. Building systems starts with awareness. What are you doing every single day that someone else could do with the right instructions? Where are you spending time on tasks that could be automated, delegated, or streamlined? If you don't have answers to those questions, you're not ready to scale, because scaling isn't about getting more clients. It's about being able to serve more clients without the quality dropping. It's not about hiring more people. It's about making sure the people you hire know what to do and how to win. A common mistake leaders make is hiring without systems. They bring people in hoping it will lighten the load, but without clear processes, they just create confusion. That new hire becomes a liability instead of an asset, and then the leader gets frustrated, thinking the person isn't working out, when the real issue is that there was no system in place to set them up for success. Talent doesn't fix broken processes. If anything, broken systems drive good people away. Great people don't want to work in chaos. To scale well, you need operational systems, communication systems, performance systems, and decision-making systems. That doesn't mean everything is automated or robotic. It means there is clarity. Everyone knows where to go for answers. Everyone knows how results are measured. Everyone knows how information flows, how feedback is given, and how to handle the most common challenges. Your job as a leader is to pull yourself out of the weeds and start architecting. Look at your business like an engineer, not just a founder. Ask yourself, if I had to double this business in the next 12 months without doubling my time, what would need to change? That's the mindset. That's the frame that helps you stop building a job and start building a machine. Systems also create scalability in your thinking. When you free yourself from daily chaos, you start thinking longer term. You see opportunities more clearly. You make better decisions because you're not constantly reacting. And that shift from reactive to proactive is the turning point for most leaders. It's where the real scaling begins. You don't build a legacy on hustle alone. You build it on structure. You build it on the systems that turn excellence into something that's repeatable. Your vision is powerful. Your leadership matters. But without systems, you'll burn out before you ever get to experience what real scale feels like. So if you want to go further, if you want to serve more people, lead more effectively, and grow a business that thrives with or without you, start building systems. Not someday, not when things slow down, right now, because scale isn't a decision, it's a design, and systems are how you design a business that lasts. Mindset is the invisible infrastructure behind every successful business. It's not fluff, it's not optional, it's the foundation that holds everything else together. Your strategy, your team, your decisions, your ability to scale. If your mindset isn't built strong enough to support the weight of your goals, everything will collapse. Not right away, not all at once, but over time, the cracks will show through burnout, broken relationships, poor leadership, inconsistent results. That's why working on your mindset isn't just a personal growth activity. It's a business requirement. You can have the best systems, the best team, and a proven strategy. But if you doubt yourself at every turn, you will either sabotage the growth or avoid it entirely. You'll shrink opportunities because you don't believe you can lead at the next level. You'll micromanage people because you don't trust your own ability to hire and empower. You'll overthink decisions until you miss windows of opportunity. That's what a weak mindset does. It creates internal resistance that eventually shows up in your external results. The mindset that got you here will not take you where you want to go next. What served you in survival mode, grit, hustle, overwork, is not what sustains growth. That's why so many entrepreneurs get stuck after their initial success. They haven't upgraded their internal infrastructure. They're still thinking like a solopreneur while trying to lead a company. They're trying to control everything instead of building leaders. They're reacting instead of architecting. And that mindset mismatch creates tension, inefficiency, and exhaustion. A growth mindset is more than positive thinking. It's about developing the emotional maturity to handle high-stakes situations without spiraling. It's about building the resilience to bounce back quickly after setbacks. It's about becoming the kind of person who makes decisions from vision, not fear. That's the real work. Managing your mind so you can lead with clarity and consistency, no matter what's happening around you. You have to get honest with yourself. What are the stories you're still carrying? Where are you still playing small? What beliefs are limiting your ability to scale? Maybe you're afraid of success because you think it will cost you freedom. Maybe you've tied your identity too tightly to being the one who does it all. And now you don't know how to let go and delegate. Maybe you've never seen someone lead at a high level in a healthy, balanced way. So you're making up stories about what's possible for you. All of that is mindset work. All of that has to be addressed if you want to go further. Your business will only grow to the level you're mentally and emotionally prepared to handle. That means developing confidence that isn't fragile, confidence that's not based on praise or perfect results, but built on self-trust and data. That means learning how to manage your inner critic, quiet your anxiety, and reframe failure. Mindset work isn't about ignoring hard things. It's about increasing your capacity to face them head on without losing momentum. And mindset isn't something you do once. It's a daily practice. Just like physical infrastructure needs regular maintenance, your mental infrastructure needs reinforcement. That means reading, coaching, reflecting, journaling, getting feedback, staying accountable. That means surrounding yourself with people who challenge your thinking, not just validate it. It means actively choosing to grow, even when it's uncomfortable. As a leader, your mindset affects more than just you. It sets the emotional tone for your entire team. If you're reactive, your team becomes reactive. If you're insecure, your team second guesses themselves. If you're clear, calm, and decisive, your team learns to operate from that same place. That's why doing the internal work is one of the most strategic things you can do as a founder or executive. You are the culture. You are the standard. You are the infrastructure. There will always be things outside your control, market shifts, competition, client challenges. But your mindset, that's yours to manage, and when it's strong, you can navigate uncertainty with grace. You can pivot quickly. You can lead through change without collapsing under the pressure. That's the power of mindset. It's your greatest asset in high-growth seasons. So the next time you hit resistance in your business, don't just look at your strategy. Look inward. Ask yourself, am I thinking like the person who can lead at the next level? Because your business can't grow faster than you do. The sooner you build a mindset strong enough to support your goals, the sooner those goals become your reality. Mindset is infrastructure, and if you want to build an empire, start there. Victory isn't a single moment of applause, a flashy headline, or a viral post. It's not the award on your shelf or the one big launch that went well. Real victory is the result of compounded effort, deliberate decisions, and staying aligned with your vision long after the excitement wears off. It's not what happens in a day. It's what happens over time when you choose consistency over chaos, systems over guesswork, and discipline over drama. So many people chase the feeling of victory. They want the dopamine hit, the recognition, the win, but they haven't done the work to earn it. They're addicted to the high of starting things, but rarely finish. They start a new strategy every few weeks. They pivot without assessing. They chase new trends hoping one will work, but victory doesn't come from constant pivoting. It comes from commitment, from deciding what matters and showing up for it. Whether it's fun or not, victory is not accidental. It's engineered, it's architected through choices, habits, and leadership. You build it when you hire intentionally, when you lead meetings with purpose, when you track performance instead of hoping everything just works out. You build it when you stop doing the work of 5 people and start building a business that runs without you. You build it when you move from reactive to proactive, from scattered to structured. You can't win if you're always starting over. And every time you abandon a strategy too early, you delay the outcome you're capable of achieving. You reset the clock. You confuse your team. You undermine your own momentum. That's why some businesses stall, even with great people and solid products. The problem isn't what they're doing. It's that they don't do it long enough to master it. They look for a new moment instead of committing to the outcome. Victory also demands clarity. You can't arrive at an outcome you haven't defined. If you haven't made it specific, how much revenue, what kind of culture, what market you're serving, how you'll scale, then you're not chasing a victory, you're just moving, and motion without direction is exhausting. People don't burn out because they're working hard. They burn out because they're unclear about why it matters. Leaders who win don't chase every opportunity. They measure every opportunity against the outcome they're building toward. If it doesn't fit the mission, it's a no. That kind of focus isn't easy. It's not flashy. It doesn't always look impressive on the outside, but it works because staying aligned compounds faster than constantly shifting lanes. Victory also requires resilience. Not everything will go your way. You'll make wrong hires. You'll launch things that flop. You'll lose clients. You'll face setbacks that shake your confidence. That doesn't mean you failed. That's part of the process. Victory comes from how you respond, not just how you plan. You have to be able to recover quickly, learn fast, and stay in the game, because the truth is, most people don't lose. They just quit too soon. You'll know you're operating from a victory mindset when your decisions are rooted in long-term outcomes, not short-term emotion, when you're not thrown off by a bad week, when you keep executing even when it's hard. When you stop chasing inspiration and start living in alignment with your values and your vision, that's where real progress happens. And here's the part most people miss. Victory is not just about business success. It's about how you feel when you wake up in the morning. It's about whether your work energizes you or drains you, whether your team respects you, whether your business is in alignment with the life you actually want to live. Because what's the point of building a 7-figure company if it costs you your health, your relationships, or your peace of mind? Victory is holistic. It's built in your calendar, your communication, your commitments. It's not one big moment. It's how you show up on the days no one is watching. It's the conversations you have with your team when things get messy. It's your ability to hold the vision when everyone else is tired. It's found in the rhythm of execution, the discipline of follow through, and the courage to stay on course. You're not here to win once. You're here to build something that lasts. And that means redefining victory, not as a moment of validation, but as the outcome of leadership, clarity, and consistent execution over time. That's what separates the dreamers from the builders. Builders don't wait for victory to feel good. They build systems that create it, and then they repeat it. That's the mindset that scales. That's the mindset that wins.